Anthony Scaramucci was sensationally fired from the White House after just 11 days as communications director. But who was Anthony Scaramucci before he made worldwide headlines? Just when you thought you'd heard the last of the mooch, he pulls you back in with another media smackdown. Donald Trump's outspoken former communications director Anthony Scaramucci now claims he was racially profiled and compared to Tony Soprano by the U.S. press, The Independent reported. The former Goldman Sachs banker of Italian heritage said the U.S. media had tried to stereotype him as a mafia boss, in a speech in the UK yesterday. Renowned for his rants, the firebrand was sacked by President Trump after just 11 days and has since been giving talks and interviews to lift the lid on his brief stint in the White House. Speaking at the Cambridge Union during a visit to the UK, Mr. Scaramucci said, "There are a lot of movies about the mafia, there are a lot of mini-series about the mafia, and unfortunately with my community, because I'm from the Italian-American community, you get stereotyped." What they were really trying to do was to stereotype me. He said journalists and commentators had compared him to fictional mobster Tony Soprano and written about him using the term Goomba, which is slang for people of Italian descent and is often used in relation to the mafia. "I'm coming off of the stage and the first headline is Tony Goomba takes over the White House press shop." Then, NBC late-night host, Seth Meyers says that I'm a walking pinky ring, he reportedly said in the speech. They wanted to forget the fact that I went to Harvard Law School, they wanted to forget the fact that I started 2 businesses in the United States that I sold for over 9 figures each, they wanted to forget the fact that I was a trained economist at Tufts University, that I hosted a television show called Wall Street Week before I joined the administration. All of that had to go by the wayside and they had to find a way to disfigure me. He also lifted the lid on Trump's social media approach in the speech. If journalists were tweeting him or being critical of him, he would light the match and throw the Molotov cocktail through the little tweeting thing and we would watch their hair catch on fire as we were flying around America, he is reported to have said. The former banker also said the U.S. president is unlikely to go to war with North Korea. The president is by nature a war avoider, not a war starter or a warmonger. By nature he has a general reluctance to deploying troops in situations, he said. That's my experience with him in private conversations and policy conversations and my experience of him as a human being, as a father and as a grandfather. Mr. Scaramucci also revealed his beliefs on climate change in the speech. "I am not a climate change denier. I think it is 60% caused by human beings and 40% about where we are relative to the sun and what kind of activity is going on the sun." "You've gotta do more research," he said.